More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying, this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat trick, home run, or big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around.
Good evening and welcome to OJLL Lacrosse on the JVI Sports Network YouTube channel. Alan Corcoran with you from the Brampton Memorial Arena. Tonight, it's the St. Catharines Athletics versus the Brampton Excelsiors. Athletics played in the first regular season game of the season on Wednesday night and fell 13-6 to the Toronto Beaches. This is the season opener for the Excelsiors. They won an exhibition game against Kitchener-Waterloo on Monday night, 11-10, to get ready for tonight's season opener. Your crew chief for tonight's game is Roger Nurse. Your officials are Jeremy McNaught and Trevor Wilson. St. Catharines, big year for them. They're hosting the Minto Cup in August at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines. They'll be without some of their top guns here as they're still playing in school. So we're getting ready for the opening faceoff. Nathan Fair will step in for St. Catharines. And it'll be Ty Clark for Brampton. Nurse telling the players to back up, and here we go, underway. A's and Excelsiors from Brampton. Ari Steinhaus with it. He'll pass it over, get off. The forwards on the floor now for St. Catharines. They'll work the ball around. 20 on the shot clock. Get it down, they press it back for Colton Armitage. Armitage drops it off. Shot from up high, getting a piece of that was Marcus Medill, the goalie for Brampton. Getting it back is Jamison Bucktooth. High pass, too hot to handle for the captain, Keaton Savitz. New 30 on the shot clock, though, for St. Catharines. Savitz. It's over. They work it around. Bucktooth shoots. And just getting a piece of that one and keeping it out is Medill. Medill will start up the floor. He feeds Caden Ferrick. Ferrick will drop it off for Riley Knox as he goes off. The forwards on the floor now for the Excelsiors. Working around for Caden Merritt, the one-time Halton Hills Bulldog. Now it's the Silva with a shot, high and over the shoulder. And there's a pass in tight. Merritt, 10 on the shot clock. They work it back. There's a pass too hot to handle. And the A's will pick up the rebound. It's Nathan Fair. Up the floor come the A's. They work it in. There's a nice save by Medill off the stick of Jack Parker. Back up the floor come the Excelsiors. They'll drop it back for Nolan Marshall. Marshall works it over. A little hot to handle, though, for Ty Clark, and it's a turnover, and it's Athletics ball. Up the floor now for Josh Ford. Ford still with it. He'll drop it back for Trent Moredian. He'll leave it for Steinhaus. Steinhaus with a shot! And getting a piece of that and holding it out is Medill again. He's been the busier of the two goalies. Oliver Vanier was in the net for St. Catharines tonight. Took the loss in the season opener on Wednesday. 2 minutes gone here in the first. Still no score. Brampton trying to change that. They're working back to the high slot for Nolan Marshall. Marshall is down low for Merritt. Merritt takes a shot. Saved by Vanier. Rebound. So he got his foot in the crease. Yeah, crease violation against Brampton. It's St. Catharines ball in the lead to charge up the floor. A little too hot to handle for Bucktooth. Rebound goes to Callum Witter. Up ahead for Ferrick. Ferrick busting in hard. Drops it back for Callum Witter, but then he loses the handle, and it's a turnover to St. Catharines. Might be a break. It's Josh Ford coming in, makes a shot. And a big save right there by Medill. There's arguing that it rolled in the net after it. You can hear the St. Catharines bench. And we're going to have maybe discussion here between the crew chief. I think it rolled in after the save. So he might have our first goal of the game. We're having a talk now with Wilson and the crew chief nurse. I don't know if they're going to have enough evidence to count it, but they're having a discussion. They're going to go over by the scorer's box. You hear the bench led by head coach Steve Toll discussing if that rolled in. It looked like he made the save, but then when he got up, the momentum might have carried the ball over the line. You see they're still having a lengthy discussion here. 2:40 gone here in the first. Waiting for the call. You can see the officials having a discussion. They are going to count it. After discussion, it's a goal, so St. Catharines on the board, up 1-0. They'll take it. And we'll look at the replay right now and see how it went in. It was Josh Ford. Throws it towards the goal. You see the splits there by Medill, but I think it rolled in behind him. You see when he gets up, they get popped in, and he's looking behind. And that's when the St. Catharines bench were up in arms saying, that's in the net, that's a goal. They're going to get their wish. And now the Excelsiors are going to get a talking to about the decision. They probably don't like the call very much. The A's will take it, and they get the big first goal on the road, up 1-0. And Josh Ford with the goal. That's his first of the season. So a bit of an interesting one to start the action here tonight on JVI Sports Network. OJLL action. It's 1-0 St. Catharines, and they control the faceoff. It's the goal scorer Ford with the ball. Ford over for Jack Parker. They're working down low to the Athletics. Keaton Savitz. Down for Meridian. Whips it over for Gavin Howard. Howard walks up, takes a couple bumps, goes in the net, and hits the goalie and off the post and all the way back behind center. But the Athletics pick it up, and they'll work it down low again to Howard. Up high for Savitz. Down for Meridian. Meridian takes a shot off the post and in. Bing, bang, boom in the back of the net. And the A's with a 2-0 lead. As it's Trent Meridian getting his third goal of the season. And it's 2-0 for St. Catharines. Here's a look at it on your screen right now. You see Meridian with the shot off the post and in the back of the net. That's what we call using the iron. 2-0. St. Catharines up on Brampton. 16:38 to go in the first. So an interesting way to get the first goal, but there was no disputing that one. And the A's trying to get back from that tough loss on Wednesday. A good start here on the road against Brampton. Talking to Pat O'Toole before the game. They're a young, hungry squad. They're going to work hard and try to surprise a few teams this year. Not the best start for them, but there's still some time to work on this. They work it back for Savitz. Savitz to down for Meridian. Over to Bucktooth. Bucktooth finds the space, walks in, and he just put it wide. Good chance there for Jamison Bucktooth. And it's a back over violation against St. Catharines. And we're going to have a penalty, I believe, on the back play for a slash. I think they're going to call that. It's going to be a penalty. Savitz. So power play, the first one of the night, will go to Brampton. They need it. So Excelsiors trying to get on the board here. 4 minutes gone in the first. Carrero, nice drop pass. Here's a shot. Oh, it's off the goalie and just wide of the net. Good chance there for Nolan Marshall. Looks like the delay of game is the call. There's St. Catharines shorthanded coming up. There's a nice toe save by Medill. It's a shorthanded chance for number 17, Gavin Howard. 30 seconds gone in the power play for the Excelsiors, trying to get on the board to cut it to 1, the deficit. Merritt. Back for Carrero. Back for Marshall. Marshall back for Carrero. Carrero, wait, shoots, and a nice save by Vanyo, and the rebound picked up by the Athletics. Racing up the floor, it's Ryan Andrews. Andrews just killing some clock off. Andrews gets a couple of bumps. Walks away from the defense, drops it back for Mitchell Armstrong. Armstrong over for Josh Ford. 10 on the shot clock, but they're just worried about killing off this penalty of Ford. He's busting it shorthanded. Trying to get by the D. Splits it, takes a shot and whistled that one wide. Good work there by Josh Ford on the penalty kill. Back comes Brampton. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty to the Athletics. It's Merritt. Back for Carrero. Marshall to Carrero. Back to Marshall. Winds, fires, and a save by Oliver Vagno. 24 to go in the power play. Athletics just kill it off. Isaac Prantera with a shot. St. Patrick's player gets knocked down and tight. The play goes on. One last chance here on the man advantage. Ferrick gets it over for Viveros. Viveros. Over to Brassard. Viveros, Brassard. Power play killed off. Brassard takes a shot right into the arm as he squeezes it. Does Vagno. A little over 6 minutes gone here in the first. 2-0 St. Catharines on OJLL action on JVI Sports Network and the YouTube channel. Brought to you by Gatorade. Now they work it back. Steinhaus. There's a shot and just whistled wide of the goal by Gavin Howard to go all the way back. And it's a back over violation against the Athletics. It'll be Brampton ball. And they'll hand it to Carrero in the corner. Marcelo Carrero. Back up high for Da Silva. Da Silva over to Carrero. Carrero walks out. Feeds Ty Clark. Clark over for Marshall. Takes a shot. He scores! Nolan Marshall with a wrister. Beats Vagno up high, and it's 2-1 as Brampton cuts the lead in half. So here you see the nice passing around. It was Ty Clark going cross floor to Nolan Marshall as he'll put one high and over Vagno to get Brampton on the board, and they're down by one. 2-1 with 13:19 remaining in the first. That got the Brampton bench going. You can hear them tapping their 6 Catharines, trying to get their defense going as well. Face-off win by the Athletics. They say work it back to Liam Deach. Deach up ahead for Jamison Bucktooth. Bucktooth trying to split the D, can't. Drops it off for Savitz. Back for Bucktooth. Bucktooth takes a hard whack. Head up high, takes a shot and a save by Medill. Probably get a penalty on that one, but play goes on. Callum Witter over to Ethan Brassard. Down for Caden Merritt with the neon green shoes. Viveros back for Merritt. Spins by one defender, gets an illegal pick there, and it's called. It'll be St. Catharines' ball. Now they have some time and space. Get up for Colton Armitage. Armitage gets a pick. Over to Meridian. Back for Parker. A shot, but a save by Medill, who's been really busy here in the first 8 minutes. And now a turnover. Here comes Mitchell Armstrong. He gets hauled down, and we're going to have a penalty. Easy call here for the crew chief. Roger Nursey brought him down like the rodeo there when they wrangled the calves down with the ropes at the Calgary Stampede. Here's a look at it again. Brings him down. Wow, yeah, right around the neck. Anybody could have called that one, and it's going to be Caden Ferrick going off for the aggressive hold, and it'll be St. Catharines getting their first power play of the night, trying to get their 2-goal lead back. 12-11 remaining in the first. Now it's Bucktooth. Over to Meridian. Working around. Back to Bucktooth. Meridian. Bucktooth. There's a shot. Passing with a pass. Oh, just over the head of the goalie Medill by Bucktooth, and Brampton picks it up. And they'll work it up the floor to Alex May. But look at a ferocious double team and a steal by Bucktooth as he caused the turnover. Bucktooth will wait to the forwards to get back on the floor. Feeds it to Savitz. Meridian's out there. He takes a feed. Now it's back. Savitz. Bucktooth shoots. Scores! It just squeaks by the arm of Medill. It's Jameson Bucktooth on the power play, and it's 3-1 St. Catharines. They'll go to the bench to celebrate. Here's a look at it again. Some crisp passing around by St. Catharines. They work at the Bucktooth. You see Medill get a piece of it, but not enough as it squeaks by the arm of the Brampton netminder, and it's 3-1 St. Catharines. 8.5 minutes gone in period one. Back to center for the faceoff. And they're going to fight another win. St. Catharines have been deadly on the faceoff dot, but a steal by De Silva. Look at De Silva coming in. Gets knocked down hard by Ari Steinhaus. And Steinhaus with the ball. Gets it up for Arrow Booth. Forwards get back on the floor for the A's. They get it around now for Ty Steinhaus. Steinhaus walks in. Drops it back for Arrow Booth. A penalty coming up, so another power play to St. Catharines once Brampton touched the ball, and they will. A slashing call coming up, and right back to the power play goes St. Catharines, as it will be Connor Blondin going off for the slash at the 9:07 mark of period one. St. Catharines were saying they had a tough start on Wednesday night. Well, they got a great start here on the road tonight, and they want to try to add some more goals. Another power play. Already 1 for 1, thanks to the goal by Bucktooth. And he's out there again, takes the feed. He gets it back. Bucktooth up high. That pass doesn't work for Savitz. Then it goes back up high for Bucktooth. Bucktooth takes a shot. Getting a piece of that one is Medill. Into the corner, it's scooped up by Owen Scott. Scott feeds it ahead for Ferrick. Ferrick, triple team right now, trying to lose that ball, and they do. And here comes St. Catharines, get picked up by Savitz. They'll slow it down. He feeds Bucktooth. Back for Savitz. Savitz for Bucktooth. Back to Savitz. Over to Steinhaus. Takes a shot just over the shoulder and high. Rebound goes to Meridian. Meridian. There's a feed. Oh, a chance there for Armitage. He just put it wide. Rebounded, flopping around there, and finally picked up by Brampton under a minute to go in the power play for St. Catharines. And another turnover caused. Here they come. Shoots. A nice save by Medill as he robs Colton Armitage. But another turnover. And St. Catharines just buzzing right now. Causing turnover after turnover. Controlling the game. And they lead by 2, and they're on the power play trying to make it more. Now it's Bucktooth. Getting around for Meridian. Bucktooth. Meridian. Bucktooth. Takes a shot. Bounces just wide. Rebound picked up by Witter. Witter has some space. Racing up the floor. It's a 2-on-1. Shorthanded Witter. Shoots. Scores! And then gets bowled over for his troubles. Shorthanded goal for Callum Witter. And the Excelsiors within 1. 3-2. After all the turnovers, and Brampton are the ones that make St. Catharines pay. And here it is on the replay, a 2-on-1. Witter races up the floor, looks for the pass, decides to keep. Good move as he puts it by Oliver Vanyo, and it's a 3-2 lead for St. Catharines. 9:08 to go in the first, 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the A's. And drop one by the A's. One last chance here maybe on the power play if they can hurry. And Riley Knox over to Savitz. Savitz takes a shot. Merit to save. Doesn't know where it is, but scooped up by Ethan Shallons. And they kill it off. And now Brandon trying to get the tie. And a big shorthanded goal from Witter. And now they're trying to tie it up here at 3. Played around to Carrero. Back for Riley Knox. Over to De Silva. De Silva takes a shot, and he just put that one wide. Rebound picked up. And there they go. Wide open is Merritt. And it's off the iron and stays out. He almost had those neon green shoes dancing there, but couldn't beat the iron. Vanyo's there, Justin the net. It's picked up by Deach. And Bucktooth has it now up high. Drops it back for Gavin Howard. Over to Bucktooth. Gets a pick. Takes a bump. Gets a feed off. Steinhaus takes a shot. Getting a piece of that is Medill. There's a rebound. Another big save by Medill as he robs Meridian in tight. Couple good chances there for St. Catharines to grab the 2-goal lead back. Under 8 to go here in the first. Blondin feeds it over to Carrero. Now it's to Brassard. Ethan Brassard. Back for Clark. Clark feeds Carrero. Carrero winds, fire, saved by Vanier. Battling for the rebound, but Vanier will get the big paddle out and scoop it up. Now he feeds Mitchell Armstrong. He drops it off. And now the feed goes to Colton Armitage. Armitage trying to get that return feed. Just a little too hot to handle. He went a little too fast and missed the pass. Now they're battling for it in tight. Pass down low. Big hit. As Winter really aggressive on Savage, trying to loosen that ball up. Shot clock winding down, and it'll be a shot clock violation against St. Catharines. With under 7 minutes remaining. First period, St. Catharines 3, Brampton 2. OJLL on the JVI Sports Network. On the YouTube channel live tonight from the Brampton Memorial Arena. Alan Corgan with you and our great crew behind the scenes bringing the slice down. There's a chance! And Vanier makes the save off of Eros. St. Catharines get up high. It's Bucktooth waiting for the forwards. There's a pass. Too far for Meridian, and back come the Excelsiors. Nolan Candy drops it off for Alex May. He takes a shot and a save by Vanier when he hangs on. No rebound. Here comes this Athletics again. Josh Ford bounced it over to Mitchell Armstrong. They'll work it back for Keaton Savitz. They work it around again to the A's. Nice passing. Goes to Jack Parker. 8 on the shot clock. Parker. The nice feed in. There's a chance. Oh, it just put wide. Good effort there by Keaton Savitz. Hits a screen out of play, and it'll be Brampton possession. Now up the floor come the Excelsiors. Nolan Marshall has one of the 2 Brampton goals. Has the ball. He's got that paddle dancing. Looking for a shot, looking for a pass, anything, and he gets it off to Da Silva. 10 on the shot clock. Da Silva feeds it in for Clark. Shoots. Saved by Vanier. Ball is loose in front. Big battle for it. And the A's will work it ahead. It's Levi Roast. And he feeds it over for Fair, and he'll go off as the offense gets back on the floor for St. Catharines. Bucktooth over for Meridian. Back for Howard. Over to Meridian. Feed inside. Here's a chance, and just put wide by Steinhaus. Now Brampton pick it back up. They get it ahead for Ferrick. He'll drop it off and go off in a change. He leaves it for Riley Knox. Under 5 to go here in the first. 1 goal, St. Catharines lead. Knox shoots. Not much of a chance there. An easy save for Vanier. St. Catharines bring it back up the floor. Ari Steinhaus takes a whack. Still has it. Gets by 1 defender. Looking to pass. Circles behind the goal. 15 on the shot clock. Drops it back for Arrow Booth. Working over to Savitz. Savitz shoots, scores! Right through the 5-hole. And it's Keaton Savitz getting on the board. The captain of the Athletics. And it's 4-2. 4:18 remaining in the first. And here we go. Here's a look at the replay. You see Savitz makes a move, just shoots right through the wickets of Marcus Medill. He had that 5-hole open, and he found the opening. And it's a little water break right now for Medill. He's been tested a lot. He's been keeping the Excelsiors in and made some great saves. He's allowed 4, but I think it could have been a lot more if he would have made some big saves, especially early on. St. Catharines leads Brampton 4-2. OJLL on the JVI Sports Network, brought to you by Gatorade. And everybody's coming now for the face-off up tight. And it's picked up by St. Catharines. Levi Roast Works it back. Ryan Andrews back for Meridian. Trent Meridian has a goal. Meridian over to Booth. Back for Steinhaus. And tight for Armitage. Work it back, Evan Howard. Howard. Shot clock winding down. One chance. They got to hurry. But it gets off a player out of play and a shot clock violation against St. Catharines. It'll be Brampton ball. Back up the court. Come the Excelsiors. It's Nolan Marshall. Marshall takes the pick. Still has it. Drops it back for Ty Clark. Clark. It's it down. It's pass it tight. Shot from a opposite bad angle there by Viveros. Doesn't work. St. Catharines will bring it back up. And we get a whistle. Too many men against St. Catharines. So, be a power play for Brampton. Yep, too many men on the floor. We'll see who goes over and serves it for the Athletics. It'll be number 5, Isaac Prantera, going over to the sin bin, and Brampton trying to get back within 1. So now 4-2 here late in the first period. Now they work it around. Guerrero, there's a shot, Marshall. It goes off, a big hit. The Brampton ball is, Riley Knox was drilled hard into the boards back there, and it's a Brampton ball. Now they'll work it around. Up high, Guerrero. Back for Marshall. Takes a shot, scores! Nolan Marshall on the power play. He in 1, 4-3. Under 3 to go in the first. So he gets some high fives from Clark as he goes off, and here's a look at the replay. Keys Guerrero, nifty behind the shoulder feed. Over to Marshall, and he rifles it past Vanier, and it's a 4-3 game with 2:54 remaining in the first. Back to center for the draw, Clark. That big win there by St. Catharines will put it all the way back for Mitchell Armstrong in his own end. Armstrong being bothered there by number 4, Da Silva, but he'll get away from it. Drops it up for Gavin Howard. Howard over to Booth. Now they work it around again for Andrews. There's a shot by Parker, and it's blocked. Parker gets his own rebound. 10 on the shot clock. Over to Savitz. Savitz, time and space, takes a shot off a body and wide. Fresh 30 on the clock for St. Catharines. It's worked around. There's a chance. Shot saved by Medill off the stick of Bucktooth. And now back coming Excelsiors looking for to tie it up. It's Viveros. Back for Brassard. Brassard over to Carrero. Carrero walks it off the blocker of Vanier. Fresh 30 on the shot clock for the Excelsiors. Now it's Viveros. Back for Carrero. Carrero. Over to Brassard to Merritt. Oh, missed there by Viveros. Picked up 2-on-1 St. Catharines. Prantera trying to feed, but it's knocked away and ball's up for grabs and is scooped up by number 13, Callum Witter of Brampton. Witter up the floor. Leaves it for Marshall. Just a minute 20 to go here in the first. Marshall shoots, scores! Time to throw the hats in the Memorial Arena. It's a hat trick for Nolan Marshall, and it's a 4-all game with 1:16 to go in the first. And there it is, off the goalie in. What a shot, and he's pumped. He's jacked right now. You can see he's excited, Nolan Marshall. 3 goals for the Excelsiors, and it's a 4-all game here late in the first. 1:16 to go. Back to center for the draw. Be Merritt against Fair, and Fair will scoop it high and into the rafters out of play here at the Memorial Arena. The old staple in downtown Brampton. Marshall again, you may as well give it to the hot hand if you're Brampton. Marshall already with 3 goals on the night. Minute to go. Here goes Marshall again. Draws it back for De Silva. De Silva gets away from a check. Draws it back. Ty Clark. Under a minute to go. And it's a steal. It's a race for the puck, for the ball. Here comes Deitch. Deitch up alone with it. Deitch circling behind St. Catharines net. So he's held there a little bit. Play goes on. Good job there by Deitch. He still has it. He finally gets it back to Meridian. Good work there by Deitch. Now a chance for Savage. There's a pass. Big save by Medill off the stick of Meridian. Shot clock and game clock at the scene. 25 left. Are Brampton going to hold for the last shot of the period? I think that's what the coaching staff is yelling. Marshall. They're working it up. They're going to pull the goalie for the extra tagger. Let's see. It looks like they're not going to. 10 to go in the period. One last chance here. See if Brandon can grab the lead before the buzzer goes. There's a shot off the player, blocked in front, and time winds down, and the period will end. Brampton with a couple late goals to tie this one up. And after 20 minutes, St. Catharines 4, Brampton 4. You're watching OJLL Lacrosse on the JVI Sports Network on YouTube. We'll be back for period 2 shortly.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Welcome back to the OJLL on OJLL YouTube channel. Al Corcoran with you from the Brampton Arena. St. Catharines and Brampton tied at 4 after 1, and you can see some of the goals on your screen. It was a quick start for the Athletics. Josh Ford and Trent Meridian getting goals, and Brampton gets one back thanks to Nolan Marshall. You see putting one up high over the netminder. But then it was a 2-goal lead retained by St. Catharines. James Bucktooth putting one home. And that made it 3-1, and back the other way. Callum Witter on a 2-on-1 beats the goalie Vanyo. Make it 3-2, and then another 2-goal lead as it's Keaton Savage putting one in past the 5-hole of the Brampton netminder. And then late in the period, Nolan Marshall puts home his 3rd goal of the game to tie it up at 4, and that's where we sit heading to period number 2. Nolan Marshall, 3 goals, the top offensive weapon so far for either team in this game. He'll try to keep up the scoring in this one. So far, we have a couple of power play goals aside. See, we're getting ready here. You see the Excelsiors. This is their regular season debut. St. Catharines played the first game of the 2025 OJLL season on Wednesday at the Canada Games Arena in St. Catharines and fell 13-6 to the Toronto Beaches. They're trying to get back in the win column here tonight. They'll be hosting the Minto Cup, the National Junior A Championships at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, home of the Niagara Ice Dogs. That'll be in mid-August. And here we go after that. They're going to award possession to Brampton. And here come the Excelsiors trying to grab their first lead of the game. They've tied it up late in the first, trying to take the lead here early in the second. Caden Merritt works it around for Christopher Da Silva. Da Silva walks in and shoots, scores! Chris Da Silva puts one by Oliver Vanyo just 15 seconds into period 2. And the Excelsiors grab their first lead of the game, 5-4, and here it is on the replay. You can see Da Silva walks in, takes a shot, and it's one that Vanyo would like to have back, but a nice nifty wrister by Da Silva to make it 5-4 Brampton. They've scored 3 straight goals going back to the end of the first period. And off that, they'll get possession to St. Catharines, trying to tie it back up. It's worked around to Meridian. Meridian to Savitz. Up for Gavin Howard. Over to Bucktooth. Bucktooth shoots. That hits the helmet of number 11, Alex May. There goes Brampton back the other way. Ferrick drops it off for Callum Witter. Over to Caden Merritt. Merritt feeds Ethan Brassard. Brassard, 15 on the shot clock. Slides it over to Carrero. Carrero walks up, shoots, and a save by Vanyo, and he hangs on. And he'll feed the captain, Savitz, who has a goal tonight for St. Catharines. Savitz walks up, takes a shot, partially blocked. Rebound goes to Arrow Booth. They'll work it back to Jack Parker. Over to Ty Steinhaus. Now it's Bucktooth, 10 on the shot clock. Behind the back feed doesn't work, but getting there with 5 on it. They had to hurry. There's a shot. Saved by Marcus Medill, and it's inside his equipment. And he gets it out. Now ready to play again. Little pass along the floor there for Owen Scott, and he'll slowly come up the floor with it. Looking to go off, get the offense back on. He feeds it to Ty Clark. Over to Da Silva, who has the only goal of the second period thus far. Da Silva spins back. Still has the ball. Drops it off for Marshall. 9 in the shot clock. Cross floor pass doesn't work. And now it's Ryan Andrews on the break. Ryan Andrews busting up the floor, but then he sees too many white jerseys, so he spins back. And he'll feed Trent Meridian. They'll get it over for Armitage. Armitage back for Meridian. There's a pass, and a shot just zipped wide. 10 on the shot clock. Here's a pass. Shot, saved by Medill as he stops Meridian, and back comes Brampton. Callum Witter has a goal tonight. And he'll drop it off for Brassard. Over for Merritt. Both these teams last year were 500 clubs. And we got off to good starts here in 2025. Now a steal. Shot clock winding down. And I think we might have a penalty call coming. It's a hold. And it's going to be Brampton power play. It's going to be Lachlan Beliveau going off. And we'll take a look at the infraction on your screen as you see Beliveau gets the free handout, puts it around up high, and crew chief Nurse there with the hand up makes the call. So Brampton on the power play trying to grab a 2-goal lead here early in the second. Marshall already with a hat trick. Over to Merritt. Back to Marshall. Down low, a pass and a nice save by Vanier. And they're going to say some legal pushing in the crease there by St. Catharines. It'll be Brampton's possession again. De Silva. Back for Carrero. Carrero. Back for Marshall to Carrero. To Marshall. Marshall. Wait, shoots! And that went about 2 feet wide, but it was a hot one. They see a battle here just down below. And again, they're going to award possession off that battle to Brampton. 30 seconds gone into the power play. Knox to Marshall for Carrero. Over to Merritt. Back for Carrero. Back to Merritt. To Carrero. Back to Merritt. Takes a shot, a high and over the head. And now another legal infraction there by St. Catharines, and Brampton will get the ball back. We got 2 seconds gone here in the power play. Work the ball back to Marshall. Over to Carrero. Takes a shot, and he whistled that one wide. It bounces all the way down and into the St. Catharines bench. It'll be Athletics ball. They're going to kill off some clock here, maybe get a shorthanded goal. Forward works it back for the captain, Savitz. Keaton Savitz still has it. Minute to go in the power play. 19 on the shot clock. Savitz is trying to eat up some of this penalty. Over to Steinhaus. Steinhaus. And you watch, Steinhaus takes a shot, save, rebound, and just put wide. Another shot. And Savitz just missed the net. Couple good chances shorthanded. Back the other way. Come the Excelsiors. It's Ethan Shallons. He'll drop it off. And it's picked up by Merritt. 30 seconds ago in the power play. About a 10-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Marshall, Merritt. Wait, shoots. Getting a piece out of his Vanier off the glass. Picked back up a fresh 30. 13 to go in the power play. One last chance here for Brampton. Marshall shoots. Save by Vanier. Rebound to Carrero. Back up high to Merritt. Carrero to Marshall. Power play is over. St. Catharines kill it off. So we're back to 5-on-5. Brampton in tight. Merritt makes a move. Cuts in. And Vanier gets a piece of that one as Merritt gets bowled over in tight. Merritt left alone in front. Marshall works out from the corner. Drops it back. And Brandon still the ball. Now a shot off the shoulder. Fresh 30 for Brampton. To hit Vanier. Good possession right here by the Excelsiors. They'll work it over for Marshall. Back for Brassard. Brassard drops it off for De Silva. De Silva, 15 on the shot clock. For Carrero. Carrero shoots. No goal. And they'll say legal pick. So it's St. Catharines ball, taking away a goal for the Excelsiors. Now it's Ari Steinhaus. Hits it up for Trent Meridian. Drop it back for Jamison Bucktooth. Bucktooth being bothered. Gets away from the jam. As a pass. There's a shot blocked. As Jack Parr's looking for something to happen. Shot clock winding down. Only 5 to go on it. And now Vanier is just going to heave it up and into the screen as the shot clock expires against the Athletics. There's the one goal so far, 15 seconds into period 2 by Chris De Silva, and it's 5-4 Brampton here on the OJLL YouTube channel, sponsored by Gatorade. And there's a shot. Gave a piece of that one was Vanier off the stick of Riley Knox. Now it's again Viveros. Back for Ty Clark. Over to Knox. Knox shoots. Scores! It went off Vanier and it rolls behind him as Riley Knox knocks one in the hard way. 6-4 Brampton. And here it is in the replay. You see Knox takes a shot off the shoulder and it rolls in behind Oliver Vanio. A tough break for the St. Catharines netminder. And it's a 2-goal Brampton lead. 13:47 to go in period number 2 on the OJLL YouTube channel. Now a big battle for the ball. Good job there by Steinhaus. Look at the work he's doing. He races up the floor with it. They yell back to Ari to give the ball, and he does. He'll get off. Good defense there by Ari Steinhaus. And now St. Catharines trying to get one back. Gavin Howard, Bucktooth. They work it around for Steinhaus, Ty Steinhaus. Back for Savitz, too far. Back over violation against the Athletics. It'll be Brampton ball. And they're waiting for it to get down near the Athletics net. It'll be Caden Merritt. Back for Ethan Brassard, over to Carrero. We're down for Marshall. Marshall gets a pick. Then he turns it over. But a good job there to get it back by Carrero. Over to Brassard. Back for Knox. Knox. Over to Merritt. Merritt shoots. It's blocked. 10 on the shot clock. Merritt gets it back. And a nice job there by Vanio to take away that pass attempt. And now Vanio up the floor for Derek Smythe. Smythe drops it off to Meridian. Meridian over for Bucktooth. Bucktooth. Meridian. Meridian. There he feeds the players a shot. Nice nifty shot there. Attempt by Steinhaus, but save. Now Brampton up the floor with it. Nolan Candy. Candy trying to fight off the D. His feet too little too hot to handle for Ty Clark. Clark fighting to get the ball back. Just down below our broadcast position. And it's stolen by St. Catharines. It's number 40, Josh Ford. Had the first goal of the game. 8 minutes gone in period 2. 6-4 Brampton leads. Now it's Savitz to Bucktooth. And that pass tip doesn't work. Now trying to race up the floor. It's Alex May. May with some speed. May shoots. Nice save by Oliver Vanio to rob May on the partial break. And they're going to give the ball back to Brampton. Callum Witter. Witter drops it off for Brassard. Brassard over for Carrero. Carrero for Brassard. There's a shot off a couple legs and just wide. And Vanio will scoop it up. And he'll get it ahead. And we have a timeout, I believe, being called here by St. Catharines with 11:13 remaining in the second. Let's look down at the St. Catharines bench led by head coach Steve Toll, who a few seasons removed from winning the OJLL title when they had the bubble tournament there at the track in Oakville. They were the winners. And now they'll have a chance at least to host the Nationals. We'll be hosting the Nationals. And you look at the Brampton players just down below. A great shot there from our cameraman extraordinaire, Gary, from JVI Sports Network. Showing you the sights of the talk, and the goalie's even giving you a look up here, saying how you do. And there's a look at the St. Catharines goalie tonight, Oliver Vanio. He's been a little busier. He wasn't as busy in the first, but he's starting to pick up the action now. Here in the second, as Brampton have taken over, they've scored 4 straight goals. 2 late in the first and 2 here in the second, the only 2 of the second period, and lead this one 6-4 here on the OJLL YouTube channel. Game 2 of the regular season. Game 1 was on Wednesday night. St. Catharines losing to Toronto Beach. That was on here as well. Matt Carrick and John Dunville doing a great job. Alan Corcoran trying to fill their shoes as good as I can tonight here at the Brandon Memorial Arena. With the call of St. Catharines Brampton, we'll have some more action next week here on the OJLL YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Great action all throughout the season. Right through the playoffs. And now Chance here for Savitz. Nice pass, and what a goal. The fake shot feeds James at Bucktooth. He puts it in. What a beautiful play to get the A's back within one. Bucktooth gets his second goal of the game, and here it is on the replay. It looked like Savitz was going to shoot. He drew everybody in, including myself for a moment, and Bucktooth left all alone to put it into the yawning cage. James and Bucktooth, 2 goals tonight, 4 on the season, and St. Catharines within 1, nearing the halfway point of period number 2. 6-5 the score. Using his soccer skills there is fair, but it doesn't work, and Brampton get the ball. They work it back to Witter. Callum Witter over to Nolan Marshall, who has a hat trick. Marshall walking up, takes a shot, and hits the stick and goes high into the play. And there's, I believe, a penalty coming up. Or is it? Yeah, there's like a high sticking call coming against St. Catharines, and the bench doesn't like it. And I can hear head coach Steve Toll to my right is not loving this call very much. It's going to be a power play for Brampton, and it appears to be Lachlan Bellevaux in again for the penalties. So Brampton on the power play trying to retake their 2-goal lead. Pass doesn't work for Riley Knox. They're saying it was in the crease, but they're not going to get. There's a shot. Saved by Vanier. Rolls all the way back. Marshall picks it up. In the Merritt. He shoots. Vanier to save. Rebound. Nice block there by the St. Catharines defender, Josh Ford. Marshall now with it for Brampton. Over to Merritt. Waits. Shoots. Oh, it hit the arm. Hit a St. Catharines player, but Vanier makes a save. And now it's up the floor for Josh Ford, who had the first goal of the night. Trying to get number 2 shorthanded, and a save. And the rebound goes to Steinhaus. Halfway point of the second period has been reached. 6-5, Brampton leads. Excelsiors on the power play, but St. Catharines trying to cook something up shorthanded. Just over a minute to go on the penalty. 13 on the shot clock. They work it around for Steinhaus. Steinhaus gets pushed ahead. 5 in the shot clock. Maybe get a shot off here. He does. Shoots. Hit the post. And it doesn't go in. Medill held it. My goodness. How close can you get? Wow. I think they're saying it might have hit the inside of the net. I'll have to maybe look at that closely on the replay when we get a chance. Now Merritt shoots and a save by Vanier. Now Vanier up the floor. Oh, and missing the pass was Levi Roast. Now up the court come the Excelsiors. Pass goes to Carrero. Last chance here in the power play. Marshall to Merritt. Carrero winds, fires, scores! Top corner! Marcelo Carrero on the power play with just 4 seconds remaining on it. And it's 7-5 Excelsiors. Just moments after St. Catharines thought they may have had a shorthanded goal. But here it is again. Carrero takes it and goes up high over the arm of Vanier to make it 7-5. And here's a look at the chances that St. Catharines had shorthanded. Steinhaus with it. He gets by. Ooh, that's close. That's very close. I thought it stayed out. It looked like it might have hit the top of the net. A very close chance. Seeing real time, it'd be hard to call it a goal. Even on the replay, it's really tough if it went in and out that quick. But a close chance for St. Catharines, and that's the momentum swing. Could have been a tie game there, but instead it's a 2-goal Brampton lead. And now they're working it around again. There's a chance. And Vanier makes a save off of Ethan Viveros. Back up the floor come the Athletics. They'll drop it off for Savitz. That's worked around. Bucktooth with it. Bucktooth over to Savitz. Drops it back. Bucktooth picks it up and shoots, and he whistled that one wide, looking for his hat trick. Nice job by Bucktooth to gobble it up, but then he turns it over. And up the floor now is De Silva. 1-on-3 to Silva. Goes in, but a great save by Vanier to rob him. And now the ball's popping around. Play back to Merritt. Over to Marshall. Marshall. Player falls around. Marshall loses the handle. St. Catharines pick up. It's a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Pass over to Roast. Levi Roast will drop it off and go off on a change. Steinhaus. 7-11 left. Steinhaus. Back for Parker. And they work it around for Booth. Arrow Booth. There's a shot. Nice save by Manel as he stops Steinhaus. Fresh 30 on the clock. Now bow for the loose ball. Brandon Blondin will throw it down as he's tied up. Trying to get a stick back from number 22, Arrow Booth. And to let everything go there, they let the players play on. Good action here on the OJLL YouTube channel tonight from Brampton. St. Catharines trying to get back within 1. 6.5 to go here in the second. Savitz shoots, save, rebound. Going behind the net was Howard. Back for Bucktooth up high. 25 on the shot clock. Down low for Gavin Howard. Howard gets by the defender. Spins back Bucktooth. Savage shoots. And it's blocked. Rebound goes to Meridian. Over to Bucktooth. Winds, fires. And it hits the post and the goalie and stays out. And now the feed up ahead for Connor Blondin. Blondin tries to go across for Brassard, who is into the bench. St. Catharines ball. And it's Ari Steinhaus. They have a timeout on the floor. 5:53 remaining. Second period, Brampton 7, St. Catharines 5. So you're watching the action on the OJLL YouTube channel. Brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you? This game is in us. It's injecting our veins tonight. Hope you're watching. I know a lot of people might be watching other things, but this is a great game to be tuned into. It's back and forth. St. Catharines had the early momentum. Brampton has got it back, but St. Catharines are trying to get back into this one. St. Catharines smarting from a tough loss in their season opener on Wednesday night to the Toronto Peaches at home. So we'll see what happens here. And it's a pretty warm night here. It's the long weekend, the first long weekend of the unofficial start of summer. Victoria Day weekend is upon us as the season gets going here, and there'll be a couple games early next week as well in the OJLL. So, and some more action here on the YouTube channel. Next game, I believe, is Tuesday night in Whitby, so tune into that one. But a great one here that still has lots of time left tonight. Friday night in Brampton. Now Bucktooth takes a shot. He was defended nicely. He couldn't get much of a shot off. Up the floor. And here comes Scott. Owen Scott shoots, scores! Great Scott! Owen Scott puts one by Vanyo. It's a 3-goal Excelsiors lead, 8-5. And here it is off the turnover. It's a 2-on-1 rush. Owen Scott was told to shoot. He did just that. And he finds an opening past Vanyo and puts it home to make it 8-5. Brampton with 5.5 to go here in period number 2. Back to center for the faceoff. It'll be Clark against Nathan Fair. And Fair, again, he's been great on the faceoff dot tonight. He wins another one for St. Catharines. They'll play it around for Meridian. Meridian. Leaves it for Howard. Gavin Howard. Back for Armitage. Over to Steinhaus. Takes a shot. Scores! Ty Steinhaus gets one back just like that for St. Catharines. Just 21 seconds after the Brampton goal. And it's 8-6. A's within 2. And here it is. Armitage dumps it off for Steinhaus. Walks in. Up high. And he rifles it past Marcus Medill. And it's 8-6. 2-goal deficit again for St. Catharines. Just over 5 to go here in period number 2. Here we go. You see the Official McNaught looking at that. He lets it go on, and it'll be St. Catharines' possession. Scooped up by Josh Ford. St. Catharines trying to get some momentum back. They got a goal. They answered the Brampton one pretty quickly. Now see if they can get another one here to make it a one-goal game in the last 5 minutes of period 2. Savitz walks in, looking for an opening. Drops it off, trying to find Arrow Booth. He's in some trouble, though. Some tight D by Brampton. 6 on the shot clock. Booth tied up, and it's going to be a shot clock violation against St. Catharines, so Brampton get the ball back. Callum Witter. Witter is down low for Carrero. Carrero back up high now for Ty Clark. Clark, wait, shoots. Getting a piece of that one was Vanyo. Brandon get the rebound, but then a turnover. It's a foot race. Prantera comes in, makes a move, but he can't put it by Medill, who might get a piece of that one. Oh, we got some pushing and shoving down here. And now it's a shot and a save by Medill off of Josh Ford. Surprised there was no penalties called down here at that little skirmish. It looked like Candy got his stick up a little high there. Now there's a shot. Nice save off the shin pad. And now back comes Brampton with it. Blondin drops it off for De Silva. He'll go off the floor. 20 on the shot clock. De Silva walks in, has an opening towards the net. Brought down, a penalty coming up for holding, and another power play with Excelsiors. 3:19 remaining in the second. It'll be Josh Ford going off. And here's a look at it again. You'll see on your screen as it was De Silva going in. Ford got the stick up around the helmet of De Silva, and it was up for a penalty. So Brandon go back to the power play, trying to add to the lead here late in the second. Now it's Marshall for Carrero. Back to Marshall. Shoot. Save by Vanyo. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. Marshall. Carrero. Shoot. Scores! Power play goal. And it's 9-6 for the Excelsiors. 3 minutes ago here in the second. You see the passing. Carrero takes the shot, and he beats Vanyo clean, and he's pumped as well. Second of the night for Carrero on the power play this time. 9-6 for the home side. Now it's Ari Steinhaus. Over to Gavin Howard. Howard. Now it's Bucktooth. Savitz. Playing it around for Jack Parker. Down low a shot. It's blocked. Shot clock winding down. They got to hurry if they want to beat it. And they don't. Shot clock violation, St. Catharines. Brampton up 9-6, 2:27 remaining, second period. Carrero now with 2 goals. Still has the ball. Carrero drops it off for De Silva. Over to Brassard. Brassard shoots, save Vanyo. He gets his own rebound. He does Ethan Brassard. Back for De Silva. Silva over to Carrero. Carrero trying to drop it off. Doesn't work. Gets his own rebound, though, Carrero. Back for Brassard. Up high for De Silva. Silva over to Viveros. Viveros cuts in and shoots. Save there by Vanyo. St. Catharines trying to get some momentum here late in the second. We're under 2 minutes to go. Meridian. It's it over for Steinhaus. Steinhaus, wait, shoots. Save by Medill. Rebound for Meridian. Meridian. Steinhaus. Up high for Armitage. To Howard. Down for Bucktooth. Armitage shoots. Save by Medill. And now the rebound to Brampton. Up the floor for Caden Farrick. Too hot to handle for him. And now racing to it first will be Ari Steinhaus. Steinhaus will now slow things down as he's being watched by Ferrick. He leaves it for Savitz as we're into the final minute of period number 2. A's down by 3, trying to get one here late. Now it's Jack Parker. Drops it off to the captain, Savitz. Savitz moves and shoots. And Medill gets a piece of that one. Fresh 30 on the shot clock for St. Catharines. They work it around. Now it's Savitz. Walks in and shoots. Off the arm and off the post, and he gets it back. But a 7-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. 30 on the game clock, 23 on the shot clock. Their coaching staff is trying to get St. Catharines going here late. Get one before you go into the locker room. Savitz. Savitz, 10 on the shot clock. Back for Bucktooth. Over to Savitz. They got to hurry to steal. Here's a break. It's Witter on the break. Witter goes in, shoots, and he put it high and over the net. With 3 seconds to go in a period, and that'll do it for period number 2. And a pretty good one for the home side as they outscore St. Catharines 5-2 in that second period. After 40 minutes, Brampton 9, St. Catharines 6. You're watching the OJLL on the OJLL YouTube channel, brought to you by Gatorade. We'll be back for period 3.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Yeah, let's go. Raise up one time. Go get it. It's yours. Let's shine. Come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Welcome back to the OJLL on the OJLL YouTube channel, sponsored by Gatorade. We're in Brampton tonight. Alan Corrigan with you. The Excelsiors lead St. Catharines 9-6 going into period 3. Here's a look at the goals from that period. You see this will be the chance here. You see racing up the floor are the Excelsiors. It was a good period for them. They outscored St. Catharines 5-2 in that period. Here's some of the action from that second period. There's a couple of close chances there, but good job there by Brampton. And they kept it going. And so far the leading scores you have right now, you have Nolan Marshall as a hat trick. See Marcelo Carrero there with a hot shot. He has a pair on the night for the Excelsiors. Leading the way for St. Catharines is Jameson Bucktooth with 2 goals. And here's that Owen Scott one coming up, rifling it by after a turnover. And nice one there to say Brampton, and St. Catharines gets one here late. That was Steinhaus putting one by the goalie Medill. And then here's the last one. It was Carrero again getting his second of the night. And there's where we stand, 9-6. Brampton leads St. Catharines, about to begin period 3. Can Brampton hold on? Or will St. Catharines make a comeback here in the third? Let's see. Here on the OJLL YouTube channel, brought to you by Gatorade. JVI Sports Network bringing you some nice sights and sounds here. Nice camera work, nice audio work. Replays as well. And St. Catharines awarded possession off the opening draw of the period. They're going to try to fight back. There's a chance coming in. And it's stopped there by Medill. Big save early on for the Brampton netminder to keep it a 3-goal lead for the Excelsiors. Now they're going to try to add to it here early in period 3. It's Carrero, shoots! And a save by Vagno. Does Carrero look for the hat trick? And now it's Derek Smythe. He'll drop it off for Meridian. They're going over to Bucktooth. Jameson Bucktooth gets a nice hit. Bucktooth. The pass in tight, the shot! And Medill gets a piece of that one off of Jack Parker. Now Brampton working around there. It's even challenge, but time violation. He was 10 seconds behind the center line, so a turnover. Didn't know the clock. He only had 10 seconds to get up the floor, and he didn't get up in time, so costly turnover there. And see if St. Catharines can make him pay and get one back here early in the third. Here comes Armitage. Spins back. Howard. Steinhaus shoots. And it bounces in on the crest of the jersey, and a save by Medill. Nice job there. Flies away to Nolan Candy, though. At least slowing down a breakaway attempt there was the active sticks of St. Catharines. They'll drop it back for Riley Knox. Over to Da Silva. Chris Da Silva. Trying to find Caden Mayer, but it bounces in on Vagno, and he'll hang on. Vagno up the floor for Josh Ford. And it's too many men is the call. And I believe it's going against St. Catharines. The coaching staff is not liking him out. They're giving the gears to the official Wilson. He's telling him to calm down. They might get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So another power play, Brampton. Looks like it was too many men. There's a shot by Marshall, save. And a fresh 30 on the clock as they're banging away for it. Marshall comes up with a loose ball in the corner. Works it back for Merritt. And now it's Da Silva. Back for Carrero, over to Merritt. His shot didn't work. Rebound goes to Da Silva. There's a shot. My apologies. Sounds like it was a legal substitution. My apologies was the penalty. There's a pass over to Marshall. Back to Carrero. Minute to go in the power play for Brampton. Carrero shoots, and he whistles that one wide. Tried the bank shot, didn't work. Goes right to Merritt. 12 on the shot clock. Merritt shoots, and that whistles high. Rebound. Penalty there, I think. No, they're just going to call it an illegal check. But it will be St. Catharines' ball. And they'll try to kill off the rest of this penalty. Bucktooth over for Jack Parker. Parker to Savitz. Keaton Savitz still has it. It's just killing the clock, eating up this penalty time. Savitz comes in, shoots. And Medill makes the save. He falls down, and I think he's hurt. Is he a little slow to get up here? I think he might have tweaked something there, and whistle will go. And Marcus Medill looks a little worse for wear there after that plays. I don't know if he tweaked his back or did something lower body there, but he's getting up very gingerly. He's up on one knee now. We'll have to see what happens. 16:40 to go here in the third. 23 seconds remaining on the penalty to St. Catharines. She's going to try to walk it off. Trying to shake up the cobwebs. Maybe just a bit of a Charlie horse there from Medill. And it looks like he's going to try to stretch it out, shake out the cobwebs, and get back to action. Here you see the replay as to what happened. He went a little awkwardly down trying to make that save. Still trying to stretch things out. Making sure he didn't tweak anything. And now play goes on. Last chance here in the power play for Brampton. De Silva back to Merritt. Over to Marshall. Back for Merritt. Shoots. Scores! It rolls in behind Oliver Vanyo as Caden Merritt gets a power play goal, and he's on the board as the Excelsiors hit double digits. 10-6. 16:26 to go in the third period. There's a look at the replay. See Merritt with the shot after taking the return feed. Gets the feed back from Marshall. Then Merritt will shoot. Vanyo gets a piece, but then it rolls in behind. A nice effort there by the defender to try to stop it, but it rolled in behind. And it's a 4-goal Excelsiors lead. Another power play goal, this time off the paddle of Caden Merritt. And St. Catharines did control off the draw, and then a big hit. Now they're hacking and whacking there as St. Catharines does come up with the ball after all that. They're calling it a back over violation. And now Brampton gets the ball right back. Tough break there for the A's. Now it's Brassard. Pass across doesn't work. Now Viveros gets it back. There's a pass. Brassard shoots. And Vanyo stops that one as he tried to put up and over his arm, but Vanyo read the play nicely. Makes the save. Up the floor again comes St. Catharines. Now we got a delayed penalty coming up to Brampton. St. Catharines get the extra attacker on the floor. There's Bucktooth. Takes the shot. Whistles that one wide. Still in play. 10 on the shot clock. Pass across doesn't work. Bucktooth gets the rebound. 5 on the shot clock. Bucktooth towards the net. Here's the chance. Scores! Put home just before the shot clock expires by Trent Meridian. His second goal of the night on a delayed penalty. And the A's within 3. 10-7. Here it is on the replay. You see Meridian gets it and just puts it by Medill before the shot clock expires. Nice pass there from Bucktooth, getting the assist on that one. So no need for the power play as St. Catharines gets a goal on a delayed call to make it 10-7 with just under 5 minutes gone here in period 3. 2 goals of the night for Meridian after having 2 in the season opener on Wednesday against the Beaches. Now St. Catharines with some momentum, getting a turnover. Josh Ford drops it off for Savitz. Fake the pass, still has the ball. That's the captain of St. Catharines. Over to Jamison Bucktooth. Bucktooth. He's Meridian trying to go down low for Jack Parker, doesn't work. Meridian behind the net. Oh, front for Bucktooth. Fakes the shot, then he shoots. And a save by Medill as it gets caught in the shin pad. Hit there, it's the floor as Marshall gets knocked down. Now it's Carrero. Carrero. Back for Brassard. Over to De Silva. De Silva spinning around. Silva still with the ball, 8 in the shot clock. De Silva takes a shot, and Vanio makes the save. And it's picked back up by Liam Deach. Deach up ahead for Savitz. Over to Armitage. Colton Armitage with a seam, bounces in, and it's up and out of play. And possession is going to go back to Brampton. And now they'll play it over for Caden Farrick. Farrick drops it off to Riley Knox. Goes down for Viveros. Viveros, open seam, shoots! And it's off a body right in on Vanio. Oliver Vanio up the floor. Oh, a nice play there by Bucktooth. Bucktooth, there's a space. Pass. Oh, a swing and a miss there by Meridian. Back for Bucktooth. Bucktooth has it. James Bucktooth. Back for Steinhaus. Steinhaus. Shot clock, 8 with seconds left. Pass. Nice save there by Medill in the crest of the jersey. Off the stick of Booth. And there's like a penalty coming up. Referee or the official's hand is up. Wilson and Nurse with their hands up. It's going to be against St. Catharines again. Interference is the call against Trent Meridian. And this has been something that may St. Catharines have to work on a little bit. Some discipline. So another Brampton power play trying to get their 4-goal lead back. 6.5 gone in the third. Merritt. Carrero. Marshall to Carrero. Back to Merritt. Back to Carrero. Shoots! Save by Vanio. Gets it ahead for Fair. Nathan Fair gets it back. Look for the home run pass. Didn't work. Recovers. Now he feeds Mitchell Armstrong. Over to Keaton Savitz. Savitz bounces to Gavin Howard. Howard looking around for an open man. St. Catharines shorthanded trying to get one here. They're going to have to probably make a few chances here now. Take a few chances. Now it's Howard. Turns it over as the shot clock expires for St. Catharines. Callum Witter leaves it for Marcelo Carrero. Carrero. Fake the pass, still has it. Carrero. Over to Marshall. Back to Merritt. Nolan Marshall shoots. Saved by Vanio, and he covers up the rebound. And he kicks it over for Nathan Fair. Fair. Sees an opening. Fair now comes up with it shorthanded. 45 to go in the penalty to Meridian. Gets it back for Steinhaus. Steinhaus coming in shorthanded. 1-on-3, looking for some help. Steinhaus being bodied, but he gets away from it. Still has the ball. Good work there. Shorthanded by Steinhaus. 30 to go in the penalty. 5 in the shot clock. It's an wide open chance, and it's off the crossbar. As Arrow Booth was wide open, but he couldn't put it by Medill. It is going to be St. Catharines' ball, I believe. Just waiting for the official word. They're going to have a draw. Actually, they're going to call it a draw. So face off back at center. Merritt against Fair, and Fair again. He's been deadly in that face-off dot tonight. I think he might have lost only one, so that's the guy to put in there if you're St. Catharines. It'll be St. Catharines' ball. Josh Ford, only 5 to go, so they'll kill it off. A big kill here for St. Catharines. So we're nearing the midway point of period 3, 11:25 remaining. As Meridian is back on the floor, he'll join the rush. Bucktooth. The pass, the shot, and the save by Medill as he stops Jack Parker. Back comes Brampton. Marshall. Nolan Marshall. Marshall gets it over for De Silva. Chris De Silva Sees an opening, walks up, shoots. But step in the crease, here's a break. Here comes Roast, shoots, big save by Marcus Medill as he robs Levi Roast on the break. Now Brampton, they get 7 seconds, they have to hurry. Off the floor, and they do get it ahead. Almost got caught with the 10-second rule being behind your own end. But they get it up the floor. Merritt with a shot, and squeezing the stick hand was Vanyo. Now it's Ford. Got another penalty coming up. This time it's going against Brampton. So an extra attacker on for the A's. Bucktooth. They scored the last time. They had an extra attacker on. Can they do it again? Bucktooth. Save by Medill. We'll get the whistle. Slashing the call with 10:07 remaining, third period. St. Catharines to the power play, as it'll be Riley Knox, the guilty party, as St. Catharines trying to get closer here midway through the third period. On the OJLL YouTube channel. It's brought to you by Gatorade. Here the coaching staff of St. Catharines talking with the crew chief, Roger Nurse, down below our broadcast position. And now we'll give the ball to the captain, Keaton Savitz, and we're underway for the power play for St. Catharines, trying to get within 2 as they've reached the halfway point of period 3. Savitz to Bucktooth. Bucktooth. Back for Savitz. There's a pass. Nice pass and a goal! Bing, bang, boom! In the back of the net, it's Gavin Howard on the power play, and the A's are back in it. And they are pumped up. Gavin Howard, power play goal, just 16 seconds into it, and it's 10-8. Look at this. You got Bucktooth, Savitz, Meridian, Howard in the back of the net. Nice passing all around for St. Catharines there. And it's a 2-goal game. Now St. Catharines again, thanks to the work of Nathan Fair, wins another draw at center. And they smell blood now. They're looking to get back in this one. They're looking for the comeback. Trying to be another team wearing blue tonight, trying to come back. There we go again. It's Armitage. There's a shot. Blocked by Alex May, trying to scoop it up. And he does. Alex May with some good work there defensively for the Excelsiors. Drops it back for Witter. Over to Marshall. Nolan Marshall has 3 goals on the night. Oh, and a hard hit to the boards, but he still gets the ball. Takes a shot and saved the revenge. That would have been a good play to end it. And now a lead pass up the floor for Levi Roast. And now Roast gets it back. He was almost off to the races. Under 9 remaining in the third. Now St. Catharines again. The shot, it's blocked. Rebound, 10 on the shot clock. Worked around Meridian, walking in, shoot. Saved by Medill. And it's gobbled up by the Excelsiors. They'll get it ahead for Caden Farrick. Over to Ethan Viveros. Viveros goes back for Knox. Knox. De Silva. Up for Carrero. Carrero has it back for Knox. Over to De Silva. Shot clock winding now. De Silva walks in, shoots. Then they got a piece of that one. Here comes St. Catharines 2-on-1. Steinhaus waits, shoots. And a save by Medill, getting a piece of that one. Back up the other way. Wide open chance. Riley Knox shoots. Big save by Vanyo to rob Knox on the break. Big saves at either end to keep it a 2-goal game right now. Brampton leads. St. Catharines coming back, trying to get within 1. Colton Armitage. Armitage. It's a pass. Bucktooth in. He just put it wide. Rebounds gobbled up by Savitz. 10 on the shot clock. Bucktooth. Shot is blocked. St. Catharines get it back. Shot clock winding down, but a good defensive job there. And it'll be a shot clock violation against the Athletics. 7:24 to go here in the third. 10-8, Brampton leads. Alan Corgan with you live on the OJLL YouTube channel for Game 2 of the OJLL regular season. And a penalty call coming up here as well. So St. Catharines in the power play is going off as Liam McPolin. So a tough break there for the Excelsiors, but more life. Sashing is the call. So St. Catharines back with the man advantage, trying to get within one. Lots of time left. So look there at Marcus Medill, went to the bench for a refreshment break. It's a bit of a stuffy night in here in the Moore Arena, but you know there'll be hotter nights in here as the summer progresses. June and July, it won't be, you'll have to bring lots of fluids. But it's great action. Nothing wrong to come here to watch a game. Now Brampton on the penalty kill. St. Catharines trying to get one here in the power play. They work it around. It's passed back. Coming in. Shot. Just put wide by Armitage. Now Steinhaus gets the return feed. Back for Savitz. Armitage. Savitz. Armitage. Savitz. Armitage shoots off a stick and out of play. And I believe it'll be St. Catharines' possession. Having a discussion. No, they're going to give it back to Brampton. Discussion there between the crew chief and the official. So it is Brampton ball, but a turnover. Gavin Howard over to Savage and shoots. He tried to bounce it in, but it goes up and out of play. And that partial 2-on-1 there for the Athletics. Under 7 minutes remaining in the third. Minute 15 to go in the St. Catharines power play. And a turnover there, and the Athletics hit the ball back. Josh Ford. Ford gets it over for Jamison Bucktooth. And a timeout being called here by the Athletics to try to discuss a play. 1:03 remaining on the power play, and they're down 2, but lots of time left. So you look over at the St. Catharines bench, the huddle. There's a shot by Gary of JVI Sports Network, bringing you the nice pictures tonight, all the tight shots, wide shots. And the great crew behind the scenes as well, making sure this gets out to all the viewers on the YouTube channel, OJLL style tonight. 6:27 remain. Now we'll swing over to the Brampton bench to discuss killing off this power play of St. Catharines. They need a big kill here. You don't want to give the Athletics any momentum here late stages of the third. So they're going to work the ball. They're going to leave it for Meridian at center. And Meridian picks it up and gives it in for Bucktooth. Bucktooth gets it back. Meridian. Savitz. Meridian. Takes a shot. Scores! The hat trick for Trent Meridian on the power play. The timeout works to a T for St. Catharines. Get the play they want, and they score. And it's a one-goal game, 10-9 with lots of time left. 6:15 in the third. Here's Meridian. Up high. Gets the pick. Gets the shot. Gets the goal. Third of the night, fifth of the season. He's been the offensive weapon for the A's so far in 2025. And A's trying to mount the comeback. They were down. Now the Brampton will play it up. Try to get one back. It's Witter. Play it around. Now it's over for De Silva. Shot there, a save. And it's picked up by Vagno. So 3 straight goals. It was a 10-6 Brampton lead, but 3 straight goals. They've got St. Catharines back in a 1-goal game here, and they had the ball trying to tie it up. Erase the 4-goal deficit. Here it is, Bucktooth. And it just stays out as Medill got a piece. And it goes to Owen Scott, who has a goal tonight. Gets it over for Ethan Viveros. Riley Knox, Viveros. Viveros. His pass doesn't work. Picked off. Here's a race. Fair. Nathan Fair, the face-off master, drops it off for Savitz. 5 minutes remaining in the third. It's a 1-goal game. Hang on to your hats, folks. We got to finish here on the OJLL YouTube channel tonight. If this is the regular season, what's going to look like? It's going to be a great one here. There's a shot. Scores! Put home by Gavin Howard. Second goal of the night. And it's all tied at 10. 4 straight goals for the A's. And it's a 10-10 tie. 4:48 to go. And here it is. What a shot there by Gavin Howard. A little smoke on that one. Second goal of the game, and he is fired up. And he should be. The A's down 4 early in this period have tied it up. They've come all the way back. And they get the ball. It's all St. Catharines right now. Can the Excelsiors thwart this comeback, or will St. Catharines just keep fighting on? Here we go. There's a shot. Just goes wide, hits the rafters. No, they let it go on. Colton Armitage over to Steinhaus. Steinhaus goes in and just puts it wide. And that bounces up and out of play. And they're going to give the Athletics the ball back. Bucktooth. Back for Arrow Booth. Over to Steinhaus. Steinhaus shoots. Saved by Medill. And Medill, the long feed up ahead. Hits Caden Ferrick. Over to Nolan Marshall. 4 minutes remaining in the third. It's tied at 10. Marshall drops it back to Knox. Knox down for Da Silva. Over to Merritt. Caden Merritt. Merritt gets an opening shoot. Scores! What a shot there by Caden Merritt. Gets the space he needs. It fires it home. And Brampton grabs the lead back. 11-10. Here it is. You see Merritt gets a nifty pick there from Da Silva and wires it over the arm of Vanyo. Second of the game for Merritt. 11-10 Brampton. 3:48 to go in the third. And off the draw again, another win by Nathan Fair. And it's played back to Mitchell Armstrong. Gets over center, he'll go off and get the offense back on the floor for the A's. They had their 4-goal run stopped, but now they're trying to tie it back up again. Howard, Steinhaus, pass, doesn't work, pick back up Bucktooth. Trying to get it back to Savitz, doesn't work. And now it's scooped up by Alex May. May will wait, dump it off, and go off at a change. Leaves it for Riley Knox. Knox back for Nolan Marshall. Over to Da Silva. Chris Da Silva. 10 on the shot clock. Da Silva. Back for Merritt. Oh, high and over the net was that shot. Looking for the hat trick. And now it's a foot race for the ball. Josh Ford. 1-on-1. Looking for mates to get up the floor to help him, and he'll bounce it over to Colton Armitage. Armitage leaves it for Steinhaus. Steinhaus spins around the defender. Asks for help, gets it. Savitz double teamed. Now shot, scores! Fights off the double team and puts it in. What an effort by the captain of St. Catharines, Keaton Savitz. Second of the night for him, and we're tied at 11. You can see he was being tight defended. Look at the two defenders. Then he gets away and then puts home the wrister. Captain leading by example for the A's. 11-11, 2:25 to go in the third. Clark against Fair for the faceoff. And again, Fair with another win. I think he's only lost maybe one draw tonight, if that. So he's been almost perfect. And that's what's helping St. Catharines get the comeback back, and they're trying to get ahead now for the first time since in the first. Trying to get that lead back at the most important time of the game late. There's a shot by Bucktooth, just goes wide. 5 in the shot clock. Steinhaus shoots. Goes wide. Shot. Scores! A shot clock buzzer beater by Jamison Bucktooth. And with 1:53 to go in the third, St. Catharines is taking the lead back at 12-11. The shot clock is running. You see up there, 3, 2. There was 1 second, and he put it on goal, and he beats Medill. A long shot by Jamison Bucktooth. Beats the shot clock, and he beats the Brampton goalie. And St. Catharines lead 12-11 with under 2 to go. And that's actually a hat trick. Not the second of the night, the hat trick for Bucktooth. And again, a face-off win. And it's left there for Josh Ford. Leaves it for Gavin Howard. Howard. Over to Armitage. Armitage. Steinhaus to Armitage. 10 on the shot clock. Armitage busting up. And a pick there. You got a Brampton player a little gobbled up on the floor there. That was Ethan Shallon, so they blow the play dead. A turnover. Excelsiors. They had a 10-6 lead early in the third. So it's a 6-1 run right now for St. Catharines. Brampton trying to tie it up. Merritt. Over to De Silva. Up for Carrero. 15 to Shuglock. Marshall. De Silva. Has no space. Merritt now. Spin, shoots. Nice save by Vanyo. Probably his best of the night at a critical time. And we're into the final minute. St. Catharines trying to hold on to the lead. Brampton looking for a turnover or a big save here. But a 30-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. 40 seconds left. There's the man with the go-ahead goal and the winning goal, Bucktooth. Fires it wide. And now it's picked back up by Brampton. And they call a timeout with 30 seconds left. And the Excelsiors will set up a play for the final shot to try to send this to overtime. What a game. Big comeback here in the third by St. Catharines. They were down 10-6. They tied up at 10. Merritt gave Brampton the lead back at 11-10, but then it was Keaton Savitz tying it. And then Jameson Bucktooth with 1:53 to go at the just before the shot clock expired, putting it home to give St. Catharines a 12-11 lead. This would be a big victory for St. Catharines with all the players that are not in the lineup right now. And you can see there some hitting down low. You see Merritt with a great chance, but a big save by Vanyo, getting that hand up. And that was his best save at the biggest time of the game. Now here we go, 30 seconds left. Brampton looking to tie it up. They've called the timeout. And now we got another discussion here. We're going to have a discussion here at center by the officials, Jeremy McNaught, Trevor Wilson, and the crew chief, Roger Nurse, walking into your screen. See what the discussion is here. Brampton's net is empty. Extra attacker is on. 6-on-5. They're trying to tie it up. What action here on the OJLL YouTube channel, sponsored by Gatorade. Alan Corrigan with you from the Brampton Memorial Arena. Brampton led 10-6. St. Catharines tied it. Brampton went ahead 11-10. Now St. Catharines with 2 straight goals. Jameson Bucktooth has the game-winning goal at the moment, but Brampton want to change that. Here in the final 30 seconds of regulation. St. Catharines coming off a tough loss to the Toronto Beaches on Wednesday night in their season opener, 13-6. They have fought back for being down 10-6 tonight. Can they hang on, or will Brampton send this to extra time? Here we go. There's a shot. Nice save by Vanio, up and off the arm and out of play. And now 20 seconds left. It's Merritt. Merritt walks out. And it goes wide. Vanio scoops it up. He's going to go for the goalie goal. Oliver Vanio. And it goes wide. Still a tiny bit of hope for Brampton. Time winding down, 7 seconds. Merritt shoots, scores! Caden Merritt, with 5.1 seconds left in regulation, has tied it up for the Excelsiors. Merritt with the hat trick. Vanio went for the, see Merritt earlier, missed the net high. Vanio went for the empty netter. He shot the ball all the way down, just went wide. Then a heads-up play by Carrero up the floor. Eventually will find its way to Caden Merritt. He makes up for that mistake and puts one by Vanio, and we're tied at 12 with 5.1 to go in the third. One more face-off. And again, it's pushed ahead. Can I get a quick shot here? Time winding down. There's a shot. Ooh, a good chance there for Josh Ford, but goes wide, and we are heading to overtime. Caden Merritt with 5.1 to go in the third. Ties it at 12. And we're heading to overtime. St. Catharines 12, Brampton 12 here on the OJLL YouTube channel. Sponsored by Gatorade. Welcome back to OJL action on the OJL YouTube channel. We're heading to overtime, and here's how we got there. Jameson Bucktooth, as the shot clock was winding down, 1 second left, puts it by Marcus Bedell to make it 12-11, and then with 5.1 to go, Caden Merritt fires one by Oliver Vanio, and he ties it up. It was a 10-6 Brampton lead. St. Catharines tied it. Brampton went back ahead, then St. Catharines went ahead, and then Brampton ties it up, and now we're in overtime. 12-12, St. Catharines and Brampton, and Brampton will get possession off the opening draw. So we have 10 minutes overtime. It's like the golden goal, first one wins. And now it's Carrero over to Nathan Marshall. Down over to Silva. De Silva walks up, shoots, and a save by Vanio, and he scoops it up. He drops it off for Ari Steinhaus. Steinhaus has the space. He's going to try to end it himself. Steinhaus shoots. Oh, a nice kick save there by Medill. Back the other way come the Excelsiors. Blondin draws it back. It's Merritt. Over to Ferrick. He'll go off. Drop it off for Marshall. Merritt and Marshall both have hat tricks tonight for Brampton. Now it's Marshall. 12 on the shot clock. Marshall, down low, chance for Knox. It's blocked, rebounds. Stepping into crease, so St. Catharines getting it. And it's Vanio waiting. Looking to pass to somebody. And it's up ahead for Bucktooth. He had the go-ahead goal. Can he get the winner here? Drops it back for Armitage. Over to Savitz. Keaton Savitz. Being double teamed, drops it off. Sino shoots! Save by Medill. He squeezed that arm. Very sensitive, and he did. Up the floor comes Brampton again. It's dropped off to Marcelo Carrero. Over to Caden Merritt. Down low for Chris Da Silva. Da Silva walks out, being defended tightly. Gets it over for Carrero. Carrero over to Merritt. Shoots! A nice save there by Vander, getting the hand on that one. Ball scooped up by Josh Ford. So offense gets on the floor for St. Catharines. Savitz. Down for Meridian. Meridian walks out. Over to Bucktooth. Shoots! Oh, a nice save there by Medill, getting the arm on it. Fresh 30 for St. Catharines. They work it around. Savitz walks up. Savitz comes in. Couldn't get a shot off. And now it's going to be Brampton ball. Witter starts it ahead for the Excelsiors. 2 minutes gone in overtime. Nolan Marshall. Marshall has it. Marshall can't get the shot off. Feeds it over to Da Silva. Da Silva takes a shot. Save by Vanier. Puts the stick over the 5-hole. They make the save. Back comes St. Catharines. It's fair. Up ahead for Armitage. Armitage. Colton Armitage. Drops up. Here's a chance. Oh, a big save by Medill as he stops Howard. There comes Witzer up the floor. Lisa for Knox. Good chances at either end right now here in overtime, but no goals yet. Knox. Riley Knox. Knox shoots. Oh, he whistled that one wide. Rebound scooped up by the face-off guru himself, Fair. Oh, it makes a nice move, does Nathan Fair. Fair rolls it over for Ty Steinhaus. Steinhaus feeds it down for Savitz. Savitz cuts out. Savitz makes a move. Savitz pass. Steinhaus comes in. Oh, he just put that one wide. Out of play, Brampton ball. Pass up ahead for Alex May. May over to Carrero. Carrero up for Da Silva. Down low for Merritt. Merritt. Caden Merritt shoots over the head and goal. Rebound Marshall. Takes a shot from his knees, doesn't work. Rebound goes to Da Silva. Shot clock going out. Da Silva. Getting a piece of that one was Vanyo. And now it's back into the hands of Josh Ford. Drops it off for Colton Armitage. 4 minutes gone in overtime. Still all tied at 12. Armitage gets the pick. Meridian. Bucktooth. Pass Evans. Oh, and a save by Medill. Thought it was going in, but he put the paddle in front of the 5-hole and makes the save. Big saves with the goalies here in overtime. Nobody giving an inch right now. Now it's Merritt. Caden Merritt over to Carrero. Carrero. Carrero with it. Dancing around Carrero, give her a pass. Over to Merritt, can't back to Ty Clark. Shot clock winding down. Clark shoots. Save by Vanyo. Scoops up the rebound. Now he has some pushing and shoving. And they're going to award the ball to Brampton after that scrum there near the St. Catharines bench. 5:19 remaining in overtime. As they're going to have a timeout on the floor. Probably get some refreshment for the goaltenders. They've earned it. Oliver Vanyo for St. Catharines and Marcus Medill for Brampton. They've earned their drinks here in overtime. Key saves at either end for both goalies. We're still tied at 12. And we're actually going to have a penalty as well here. Oh, boy. And we're going to see if we can have a look at it. Some chances here. There's a shot. Big save there. We got a penalty coming up. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. And serving it is Aero Booth. So power play Brampton. Wow, bench monitor for unsportsmanlike conduct. Ooh. Now it's shot by Marshall. They save by Vanio. It's high in the rafters of the Memorial Arena. And it will be Athletics ball. So, referees must not have liked something they heard from the bench, and so they called it unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Tough one to take in overtime, but St. Catharines have the horses here to maybe score shorthanded. And there's Bucktooth, the spinning behind the back shot didn't work. But again, Gavin Howard over to Steinhaus, shoots off the head of Connor Scott, and it goes high and wide. Now Brampton trying to set something up here on the power play. 4:30 to go, sorry. Now it's Carrero over to Marshall. For Carrero, for Merritt. De Silva, back for Marshall, shoots, and he whistles that one wide. Rebound! Carrero over behind the back, nifty play, it didn't work. I think right now it's not about beauty, it's about technique. It's a shot clock violation against the Excelsiors. Under a minute to go, and the penalty to St. Catharines. Trying to kill it off at least, maybe even get a shorthanded winner. Colton Armitage heaves it over for Ty Steinhaus, who has a goal tonight. Steinhaus, 4 minutes remaining in the overtime. Steinhaus still with it, dancing with that stick. He's looking for a shot. Steinhaus take it. Oh, and he gets brought down hard. Penalty coming up to Brampton. Yeah, it was a little aggressive there, and you got to keep your emotions in check in overtime, and that was a tough penalty to take. That'll be Connor Blondin going off, and see Steinhaus doing all that work in tight, trying to get a shorthanded goal, and you can see Blondin went up a little high and should have let him go, but he got that stick right up in the cage, brought him down hard, and got to call that one, especially if you give St. Catharines a penalty in overtime. So we'll have some 4-on-4 action. If nothing is scored, it'll be 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, it'll be a power play St. Catharines for a minute and a half. Now it's Savitz. He's getting instruction from his bench. Savitz. Just waiting for the penalty to kill off. Probably going to shoot the goal at the end of it because then they'll have the power play. Meridian takes a shot. Save by Medill. And 3 seconds, and then St. Catharines now on the power play. So Brampton are shorthanded. Farrick up with it. Drops it off for Merritt. It's it over to Carrero. Carrero with it. Shorthanded. Trying to get by. Takes a shot. Saved by Vanio, and then brought down hard. Legal push there against St. Catharines, and it'll be Brampton ball to try to eat up some more of this penalty. Under 3 minutes remaining. Overtime. Now it's Carrero. Minute to go in the power play for St. Catharines. Over for De Silva. Silva. Still with it. Chris De Silva. Trying to work his way. Shot clock winding down. Puts it on goal. And right into the waiting paddle of Vanio. St. Catharines pick it up. They have 35 seconds left on the power play. They're working ahead to the captain, Savitz. It's Steinhaus. Bucktooth. Savitz. Steinhaus. Meridian. Pass Bucktooth walking in. Oh, he just put it wide. And then it's picked back up. Battle for that. Brampton picks it up. Penalty almost done. Here goes Winter. Only 10 to go. He's going to wait for Blonde to get back on the floor. And he does, so they kill it off. Under 2 to go. Carrero has Marshall. Knocks on the floor. Carrero waits, shoots over the head. Now it's a foot race. Ari Steinhaus gets knocked down. Brandon picks it back up. It's Carrero. Now it's back to De Silva. Over to Marshall. Carrero with it. Carrero over to Marshall. Shoots! Off. Vanya makes a save. And he picks it back up. Now they're working up ahead for Gavin Howard. Minute to go. Overtime. Bucktooth. Howard. Savitz. Steinhaus. A feed across. There's a chance. Shoots. Scores! Keaton Savitz. The game-winning goal in overtime with 48.7 to go. The hat trick for the captain. And he wins it for St. Catharines. What an entertaining game here tonight in Brampton. And here it is. Savitz walks in and finds some open space and puts it home for the game-winning goal at the 9-11 mark of the overtime period. As St. Catharines come all the way back to win it 13-12 in overtime over the Brampton Excelsiors. So a big goal there for the captain. Third of the night. Leading by example is the captain. Now the two teams will shake hands. It was a good effort. Both teams deserved a win, and St. Catharines will get the big win on the road here tonight. 13-12. So a great game. Great game for sure. So for the great crew from JVI Sports Network that brought you the sights and sounds, Alan Corkum saying good night from Brampton. Final score, St. Catharines 13, Brampton 12 in overtime. We hope you enjoyed this telecast of the OJLL on the OJLL YouTube channel, sponsored by Gatorade. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.